Let's craft. Today's video is a part of an open playlist called Just Our Imagination. That is hosted by Kathy Jo DIYs, Rustic and Lace DIY, and this month the co-host is DIY with Aurea. There are 3 challenge items we must use, and this month they are wood beads, a zipper, and clay. I'll have more on this later, but for now, let's get to crafting. Okay, for this one, I have these 3 books from the Dollar Tree, and I painted the largest one with ivory chalk paint, and then the 2 smaller ones, I painted one with toasted marshmallow and one with English ivy green. I have this fabric here from Walmart, from Waverly. It is a cotton fabric, and I'm going to use it to make a pocket. And so I mixed together ivory and the toasted marshmallow to get a color a little bit closer to that fabric to paint the largest book, because I'm going to be making a pocket out of that fabric. I have this zipper here out of an old pair of jeans. I had an extra pair of painting jeans. I didn't need that many. So I just took the zipper out of those jeans, and I'm painting the cloth that's attached to the zipper the same color as that largest book. I used some hot glue to make some trim pieces that I'll be using on one of the smaller books. And I printed out 2 old art, public domain images from the internet. I have this brown ink pad here and this stamp from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use that on the green book. I do want to give this disclaimer. I know that some people get upset about those that craft with books. These Dollar Tree books are more than likely just a step away from a landfill. And honestly, I don't understand the idolizing of books. There are good books and not so good books. Just like there are good paintings and bad paintings, good movies and bad movies. Nobody would be upset if I was crafting with a DVD copy of Over the Top, starring Sylvester Stallone, except my husband. If I did a painting or wrote a book, they would both be bad and should be crafted with or possibly burned. But I do want you to know I would never craft with an antique book in decent shape. I have this other stamp from the Dollar Tree, and I'll be using it on that toasted marshmallow smaller book. I didn't press down in the middle there, unfortunately, so I had to go over it again, and I did get a little bit of ghosting, but I wasn't worried about it looking perfect because I wanted it to look sort of old. I have some wood beads here, one of our challenge items, and I'm going to glue one on each book, and you will see why later. This fabric did have some pretty severe, bends in the fabric there, so I had to give it a light ironing. And then I'm just going to cut it down to size to go around this book. I made sure to tuck in and hot glue all of the overhang, and that's where my phone fell. With the largest book, I did cut with an X-Acto knife some of the fabric so that that glue would go past the fabric and connect the bead to the book. I used twine on this book. Now what this is it's going, these books are going to stand up. And so you'll have to have the book a little bit open in order for it to stand on its own. And the this little sort of latch here will keep it from opening too far and fall over in that way. I just hot glued that on the inside of the back of the cover.
When your golden card is
And you can hide that ugly there with some trim if you want. I Mod Podged those two images on the fronts of the two smaller books. For some embellishments, I have these box corners here that I got off of Amazon, and I used some E6000 to attach those. Now this is where that molded hot glue comes in. I'm going to give it a base coat of Truffle by Waverly. And I took that zipper on this largest book and I'm going to glue it straight to the fabric. And then I'm going to glue this lace fabric from Dollar Tree on top of that to make it more attractive. And I cut away that triangle of fabric there behind the zipper. For this one, I'm going to use a strand of beads as the sort of latch for the book, and I used some more of those box corners on this one. I have these little embellishments from the Dollar Tree, these little clock faces and some paper flowers, and I'll just attach those. And I did do some distressing with antique wax. I got these dried flowers off of Amazon. They were a ripoff for how much you got. They were pretty pricey. I need to start growing and drying my own flowers. That would be much more cost effective. But you can see here how that latch keeps the book open but not too open. Using my miter shears, I'm just creating a frame to go around this image on the green book. To make those details show, I went over it lightly with some pure gold rub and buff. And I went around the edges of the book. They're fairly heavy with some more of that rub and buff. You can probably guess that this one is my favorite. I'm really into green lately. This is just a quick reminder that if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. That way you don't miss any future videos. Okay, for this one, I've got these square beads from the Dollar Tree, 4 of them, and I have this bottom from one of these boxes from the Dollar Tree. 2 weeks ago, I used the hinges off this box, then last week I used the lid, and now I'm using the bottom. I glued the feet onto this little box with some Titebond multi-surface glue. And I'm going to use this air dry clay to make an embellishment for the front of the box. I have this silicone mold from Redesign. I need to get me some more because I've been using this almost every video. I added a little bit of water to my clay because it was a little bit dry, and I worked that a little bit, and then I put the clay down in the mold. After putting some cornstarch in there, you have to do that or it will stick. And I shouldn't have put it in 3 different sections because once I took this out of the mold, it came apart in 3 pieces. And I think if I would have put it in there as one solid piece, it wouldn't have done that. But it really didn't affect how it worked anyway. I used more Titebond glue to attach that while it was still, malleable before it dried and got hard. And I did go ahead and paint that with that same mixture of ivory and toasted marshmallow, and I painted the whole box with that. And I think that people have been telling me to paint it before it dries, and that helps slow down the drying process and make it to where it won't crack as easily. And I believe that did help. So thank you everyone that gave me that tip. You could use this as a trinket box or a place to put your rings, maybe at your kitchen sink. But just to style this, I put this vine ribbon in here that I've had forever and then stuck this little thrifted bird on top. For this one, I wasn't really sure where I was going with it. I just sort of dove into this one and it turned out pretty good. It's not my favorite, but I have this small shelf from the Dollar Tree and I filled in 2 of the holes, and now I'm making some pegs to go on it. On this cut that I showed you, I kept one side straight and one side slanted so that the pegs would point up a little bit and hold what is hanging on them. But I didn't show this, but I did end up making both of the sides slanted at the same angle. I thought that looked better. And that's just a cut up piece of dowel rod. Pretty sure I got the pack of those from Dollar Tree, but they have them at Walmart too and other crafting stores. But I just glued those pegs on with hot glue. And I made some stain out of burnt umber and water. This bottle of burnt umber came to me watery when I ordered it. I don't know what's wrong with it. I've had other bottles of paint like that before where it's like really runny, and I don't know what happens to the paint to make it that way, but I added a little more water and made a stain out of it. I got this napkin from Kathy Jo. Thank you, Kathy Jo. I don't think I would have really any napkins to craft with if it wasn't for Kathy Jo, so I'm very appreciative. This napkin was so pretty, and I'm just doing the iron-on method where I put the Mod Podge on the wood, and then don't forget to, I didn't show this, but don't forget to pull that other ply off the back there. Make sure you get all the plies separated to where you're down to just one ply. And then I did distress that. Don't know what I'll do. I appeal to you. All that I'm asking is sympathy. Although you've broken your vow, I've grown so used to you now. I know I'll miss you somehow. I love you, I need you so before we part. Spare an aching heart. All that I'm asking is sympathy. Okay, this one, kind of like last week, the last craft here is more of a show and tell and not so much of a detailed craft. I just wanted to show you this new gel stain that I'm trying out. It's new to me anyway. And it was pretty affordable. I have seen other brands of gel stain and I thought they were kind of pricey. But this one was a fair price. And you can see here that it's water-based. Because it's water-based, I'm hoping that I can put it into a different bottle so that I can dispense it easier and use it a lot in crafting. And what's interesting about these gel stains is that you can use them on other materials, not just wood. You can use them to make a wood look on, it says metal, fiberglass, and more. And so I'm just looking forward to experimenting with this stain and seeing what I can do with it. What I'm going to use the stain on is this greeting card organizer box that I got from Amazon, and I realize it's a little bit pricey at $30, but I really needed something this specific to put at our church. We, the whole congregation will sign cards. We'll pass the cards around and sign them all during service, and then, those will get mailed out to people. And we really needed a place to keep some and keep them organized, and this was just perfect for that. And it came with these dividers. I loved how sturdy these dividers were. Some very hard, thick chipboard, and they came with labels. The labels were neat, but it didn't have all the labels that I needed, so I ended up making my own labels, but they are vinyl, so they're individual letters, not stickers, if that makes sense. And then it has a label holder for the front, and it was just perfect for what I needed it for. You can see how viscous this gel stain is, and I like the idea because I have splattered stain so many times, because stain is very watery. Oil-based stain is regular stain, and so I like the idea that this is thicker and I won't be as messy with it. As soon as I saw this stain on that clear plastic knife, I thought, oh, this is going to be too red. And it was too red for me. I already have a plan. As soon as I started using it, I knew what I was going to do. I did like the way it looked on this wood here. So different, stains look different on different types of wood. The color will look totally different depending on the wood that you're using. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the plain walnut. What I'm using here is American walnut, and so it's a little more red than walnut. I usually want some red in there, and regular walnut usually does not have any red at all. It's just straight dark brown stain. And so what I'm going to do, because it's water-based, I'm going to get the plain walnut and mix it half and half with this American walnut. And I think that'll be the perfect color for me that I like. Don't forget that this is a part of a playlist. I will have a link to the playlist as well as the links to the host channels in my description box. If you're watching on a TV and are unable to click on links, just head over to Rustic and Lace DIY, Brenda's channel, and go to her playlist section. It should be the first playlist listed there. She's great about putting the dates on those playlists, so it should be easy to find. And if you enjoy these crafting challenges, you'll find the Just Our Imaginations from Crafting Past there you can check out as well. Be sure to check out the hosts and the co-host channels. You will not regret it. They are wonderfully talented ladies. But that's it for this one. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you in the next one.